Imagine living in an era where fear itself is a weapon. The year is 1968 and a shadow has fallen over the picturesque landscapes of Northern California. A series of brutal murders is terrorizing the region, leaving residents of the San Francisco Bay Area paralyzed with fear. And at the center of this terrifying saga is a mysterious killer who would become known as the Zodiac. This is not just a story of gruesome crimes, but also of a killer who taunted the police and the public with cryptic messages and chilling symbols. The question that haunts this narrative even today is a simple yet profound one. Who was the Zodiac Killer? Join us as we peel back the layers of this haunting case, exploring the chilling details that have kept the public captivated for decades. We'll delve into the sinister messages left behind by the Zodiac, examine the prime suspects, and try to piece together the puzzle of his identity. It's a journey into the dark underbelly of human psychology and a testament to one of the most perplexing mysteries of our time, the Night Stalker. It all started with a seemingly random attack on December 20th, 1968. Two young lovers, David Faraday and his girlfriend, were parked along a secluded stretch of Highway 29 when they were viciously attacked. What followed was a scene straight out of a horror movie. The assailant shot Faraday twice and stabbed his girlfriend several times. Despite the shocking violence, both managed to survive. But this was just the beginning. As the following months rolled by, the Bay Area was hit by a wave of inexplicable attacks. On July 4th, 𝐓𝐴𝐷𝐿 𝐕𝐢𝐝 1969, two young women, Darlene Ferrin and 𝐈𝐲𝐬𝐭𝐞𝐫𝐢𝐝, were at a popular beach. Suddenly, an unseen assailant opened fire, leaving Ferrin dead and 𝐕𝐲𝐬𝐿 critically wounded. Then on September 27, 1969, Paul Stein, a taxi driver, picked up what would be his last fare. He was found shot to death the same day, his cab abandoned on a deserted street. Each attack was more terrifying than the last, and the killer seemed to be sending a message with each strike. But it was the messages that truly set this case apart from others. After the attack on Faraday and his girlfriend, the police received a letter from someone claiming to be the killer. The letter contained a strange cryptogram, a twisted game of hide and seek with the police. The cipher read, "I like to play games. Please get me some." Another letter sent after the double homicide on the 4th of July contained a similar cipher, along with a chilling boast, "I shot them all. I'm gonna get some more." These messages were not just taunts. They were declarations of a madman, unveiling the cipher, 𝐬𝐴𝐿𝐻. The Zodiac ciphers are among the most infamous aspects of the case. The killer, cloaked in anonymity, used these codes to send messages that were as cryptic as they were chilling. But why did he bother to encrypt his messages? Was it to add an extra layer of terror to his crimes? Or was there something more sinister behind the codes? Some believe the ciphers were a way for the killer to test the police, almost like a macabre game of cat and mouse. By encrypting his taunts and threats, he challenged the authorities to decode his message, knowing full well that it might take them longer to decipher the words than it took him to commit the crime. One of the most famous Zodiac ciphers is known as the 340 cipher. It was found on a piece of cardboard that was mailed to the San Francisco Police Department and the FBI. The cipher consists of 340 characters, a mix of numbers and letters that when decoded revealed a chilling message: "This is the mark of the beast." Another cipher, known as the 𝐳 cipher, was found on a telephone pole near one of the crime scenes. This one was particularly eerie as it contained the letter Z, which the police believe was the killer's signature. When decoded, the 𝐳 cipher read, "Beware the night, he who stalks in the dark." The sheer complexity of these ciphers suggests a killer with a high level of education and an understanding of cryptography. Did the killer derive some perverse pleasure from these puzzles, or was he simply trying to ensure that his identity remained hidden? The answer may lie in the dark recesses of the Zodiac's mind, a mind that despite all the efforts of investigators remains shrouded in mystery. No, a web of suspects. As the body count rose, so did the pressure on the police to catch the killer. With each new attack, the killer seemed to be sending a message not just to the victims, but to the entire Bay Area. Who was this man with the chilling disregard for human life and a penchant for cryptic puzzles? One of the first persons of interest was Arthur Lee Allen. Allen, a former serviceman turned school janitor, had a history of violence and a disturbing fascination with knives. Witnesses had seen a man resembling Allen at some of the crime scenes, and fibers from one of the victim's clothing were found in his car. However, despite the circumstantial evidence, Allen was never charged, and he died in 1992 still maintaining his innocence. Another suspect, Gary Francis Post, came to the attention of the police because of a peculiar detail. A witness had reported seeing a man with a mustache at one of the crime scenes. At the time, Post, a Vietnam War veteran, sported a mustache that matched the description. Moreover, the police discovered a hidden compartment in his home that contained a Zodiac-like letter opener. However, the lack of concrete evidence meant that the case against Posada remained shaky at best. Then there was Ross Sullivan, a drifter who had been in the area at the time of the murders. Sullivan had a criminal record that included burglary and assault, and his fingerprints were found at one of the crime scenes. However, his alibi for the night of the murder was strong, and there was no physical evidence linking him directly to the killings. As the years went by, numerous other individuals were investigated, each with their own set of alibis and connections to the case. Yet none of these men could be definitively linked to the crimes. The case that wouldn't die. Today, the Zodiac case is still open, a testament to the killer's ability to evade justice. Over the years, advancements in DNA analysis have given investigators new hope. With modern technology, it may finally be possible to crack the case that has baffled investigators for decades. But the allure of the Zodiac case goes beyond just the crimes themselves. It's a story that has permeated pop culture, inspiring books, documentaries, and films. From the gritty realism of David Fincher's Zodiac to the fictionalized account in the Robert Downey Jr. film The Murders in the Rue Morgue, the Zodiac has captured the imagination of filmmakers and audiences alike. But what is it about this case that continues to fascinate us even today? Perhaps it's the psychological impact of the case. The fear and uncertainty that gripped the Bay Area in the late 60s and early 70s is something that many can relate to. Or maybe it's the mystery itself, the unsolved puzzle that keeps us coming back for more. In a world where we demand answers, the Zodiac case stands as a stark reminder of the limits of our knowledge and the darkness that can lurk in the human psyche. Who was the Zodiac Killer? The Zodiac? As we bring this journey into the heart of one of America's most notorious mysteries to a close, we're left with more questions than answers. Who was the man behind the chilling moniker, the Zodiac? What drove him to commit such heinous acts and taunt the authorities with cryptic messages? And why, despite all the efforts of investigators and amateur sleuths alike, does the identity of this madman continue to elude us? Perhaps the most haunting aspect of this case is the killer's taunts. The words he chose to send not only to his victims, but to the world. The Zodiac was not just a killer, he was a provocateur, a man who derived pleasure from the fear he instilled in others. His messages were not just ciphers, they were battle cries, declarations of a war he waged against society. In the end, the Zodiac case is a sobering reminder of the evil that can exist in our world. It's a testament to the darkness that can reside in the human heart and the lengths to which a twisted mind can go. As we reflect on this chilling tale, we're left to grapple with the unsettling realization that some mysteries may never truly be solved. Some nightmares may never truly end. Now it's your turn. What do you think? Who was the Zodiac Killer? Could it be one of the suspects, or was there someone else entirely? Let us know in the comments section below. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Thanks for watching. Until next time.